Good morning, everyone. Noralyn Silogan here, sharing information about importance of stems. Since the stem is the aerial part of the plant that supports other aerial organs like leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds, let's start with the questions, why are plant stems important? Stems here, or the plant stems, also perform a wide range of functions that have enabled various plant species to survive in different habitats, just like what Ms. Basada discussed earlier. The stems are a vital part of the plants that performs many important functions, including support, transportation, storage, photosynthesis, attachment, and access to sunlight. Stems have a number of defensive properties to help protect a plant from infection and being eaten by insects, birds, and mammals. So let's discuss it one by one to further understand this topic. Let's start with the support role. The stem plays a crucial role in supporting plants' leaves, flowers, and fruits. When I say supporting the plant's leaves, flowers, and fruits, that is very correct because it serves as the plant's central support structure, enabling it to stand upright and reach towards sunlight for photosynthesis. What do I mean by that? Support for leaves, like for example here in a sunflower, the thick and sturdy stem supports the large, broad leaves here. So, kung na-experience niyo nang humawak ng tangkay ng sunflower, kung mapapansin niyo, matigas siya, which is yung stem ang tumutulong sa pagkalat ng mga dahon upang mapakinabangan ng photosynthesis, which is the process of food making. And also, yung stem yung humahawak sa mga dahon sa isang pinakamainam na posisyon para makakuha ng sunlight at gas exchange. Pag sinabi natin gas exchange, ito na yung nililipat ng mga halaman and carbon dioxide ang oxygen sa loob at labas ng kanilang mga dahon. Since the stem of a sunflower here grows tall and sturdy, supporting the leaves in a position that allows them to maximize their exposure to sunlight. Without a strong stem, the leaves would not be able to maintain an optimal orientation for photosynthesis, resulting in reduced energy production. Now let's proceed to the next example, which is the support for flowers. So in a rose plant, the flower is supported by a long thin stem called the peduncle, and the stem holds the flower in an elevated position, making it more visible to pollinators like bees, butterflies, and birds. So the stem also supports the flower as it grows and eventually blooms, ensuring it is well positioned for pollination. So when we say pollination in plants, ito na yung proseso kung saan yung pollen ay inililipat mula sa male part ng isang bulaklak patungo sa female part na nagbibigay daan sa bulaklak na makabuo ng mga buto at prutas, which is yung mga animal pollinator. Yun yung tumutulong like bees, butterflies, and birds. Lastly, support for fruits. So the last example that we have is the tomato plant. So the stem here supports the developing fruits. As we observe, habang lumalaki yung mga bunga ng kamatis, pinipigilan sila ng stem na mahulog mula sa lupa, na nakakatulong para maiwasan na masira at the same time yung prutas lumalaki ng mas maayos at malaya. So kung mapapansin natin, yung kamatis pag lumakit hinog na, bumibigat, 'di ba? So yung stem, ang role ng stem dito, nagbibigay sila ng structural support upang yung kamatis ay hindi mahulog at masira. Next is transportation. The stem transport water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves and sugars from the leaves to the rest of the plant. Example here is yung sunflower again. So yung stem ng sunflower dito ay nagsisilbing tubo para sa transportation ng water, nutrients at yung sugar sa buong halaman. So tinitiyak ng stem na ang mga dahon, bulaklak at prutas ay natatanggap ang mga kinakailangang resources for growth and development. So, kaya dito, ang stem ay naglalaman ng vascular tissue, which is yung xylem at phloem, na nagdadala ng water, nutrients at yung sugar sa pagitan ng mga ugat, dahon, bulaklak at prutas. Just to give you a brief summary of water, nutrients, and sugar transport, water and nutrients, xylem is the responsible. Water and minerals are absorbed by the roots and transported through the xylem to all parts of the plant, driven by transpiration and cohesion or adhesion forces. So next is the sugar. So the responsible here is the phloem. Sugar here produced in the leaves during photosynthesis are transported. So the combined function of xylem and phloem ensures that the plant can maintain proper hydration, acquire essential nutrients, and distribute the sugars needed for energy and growth. So this system is critical for the plant's overall health and survival. The stem of a plant not only supports leaves, flowers, and fruits, but can also serve as a storage organ for food and water. Stems can store food, primarily in the form of starch, sugars, and sometimes other carbohydrates. So these are stored as reserves for when the plant needs energy, such as during period of dormancy, regrowth, or reproduction. So this ability is particularly important for plants in environments where water or nutrients may be temporarily scarce, or for plants that needs to store energy for future growth or reproduction. So the way stems store food and water varies between plant species, and the stem may be modified in different ways to perform this function. For food storage, in some plants like potato stems store carbohydrates as an energy reserve such as starch or sugars. So this stored food can be utilized during times when the plant needs energy for growth, flowering, or sprouting new shoots. For water storage, on the other hand, in plants like cacti, the stem is modified to store large quantities of water. So this helps the plant survive in arid or drought-prone environments by providing a reserve of moisture that can be used during dry seasons or dry periods. Thus, the stem plays a vital role not only in supporting the plants and next is photosynthesis. Green stems can produce food through photosynthesis. Ito lang siguro yung matandaan ko nung high school ako since old curriculum ko is yung word na photosynthesis, which is the process of food making. So, while the leaves are typically the primary organs responsible for photosynthesis in most plants, some plants also use their stems to carry out photosynthesis, especially in environments where leaves may be reduced or absent. So, this ability allows plants to continue producing energy even when their leaves cannot fully perform the process. How the stem photosynthesizes? Maaaring mag-photosynthesize ang stem dahil naglalaman ito ng chlorophyll, yung green pigment that captures light energy, and yung chloroplast naman, ito yung organelles na responsible for photosynthesis. So, matatagpo nito sa mga stem cells, lalo na sa ilang mga halaman na may green stems. Ang proseso ng photosynthesis sa stem ay sumusunod sa parehong mga pangunahing hakbang tulad ng sa mga dahon na may light absorption, carbon dioxide intake, and water transport, and also photosynthesis reaction na i-discuss sa part ng leaves ng next reporter. So going back, we have examples here of stems that photosynthesize. Number 1 is cacti, especially the saguaro cactus and other types of cacti. So in cacti, the stem is the primary organ for photosynthesis because their leaves have evolved into spines to reduce water loss. So the thick, fleshy stem of the cactus contains chlorophyll and carries out photosynthesis. The stem's ability to photosynthesize is crucial for its survival in dry environments where leaves are often reduced or absent to conserve water. Next is kalanchoe. The kalanchoe here is often grown as an ornamental succulent. Kalanchoe has thick, fleshy stems that stores water and can also perform photosynthesis. These plants have chloroplast in their stem tissues, allowing the stem to carry out some photosynthesis, especially when the leaves are small or absent. So, the stems of Kalanchoe here is typically green and can absorb light to produce energy for the plant. Next is Virginia creeper. For example, in the Virginia creeper, yung sa bahay ng mga Amerikano or mayayaman, di ba madalas nakikita natin yun sa mga wall or pader nila? So, the stem contains chloroplast and helps the plant produce energy when light is limited or when the leaves are not fully developed. In potato plant, this is a special case since it has two stems, the aerial stems, the stems above the ground, and the tubers, which is the underground stems. So, while the tubers of the potato plant store food, the above ground stems can also carry out photosynthesis. And these stems have chloroplast and produce energy for the plant, which is then used for growth and the development of the tubers. However, the majority of photosynthesis in a potato plant takes place in the leaves, with the stem playing a secondary role. While leaves are the main photosynthetic organs in most plants, some plants also use their stems for photosynthesis. This adaptation is especially important in environments where leaves are reduced or absent, or in plants that need to maximize their energy production in challenging conditions. Cacti, succulent plants like Kalanchoe, and certain green stems vines like the Virginia creeper rely on their stems to carry out photosynthesis, contributing to their survival and growth. So these stems typically have chlorophyll and specialized structures to capture sunlight and convert it into chemical energy. Attachment. The stem provides a place for other plant parts to attach, such as leaves, flowers, buds, and fruits. The stem provides a structural framework for a plant, allowing essential parts like leaves, flowers, buds, and fruits to attach and grow. This attachment plays a crucial role in the plant's ability to capture sunlight for photosynthesis, reproduce also, and bear fruit. Attachment of leaves. Like for example again the sunflower. The petiole attaches the leaf to the stem, and these stems allows the leaf to extend outward, maximizing its exposure to sunlight for photosynthesis. The stem provides the leaf without mechanical support, keeping it upright and in the right position. Without the stem, leaves wouldn't be able to stay in place or orient properly to capture light. Attachment of buds. Buds are found on the stem and can develop into new shoots, leaves, flowers, or branches. The stem provides a site for the attachment of terminal buds at the tip of the stem and the lateral buds on the side of the stem. So these buds are vital for growth and development as they can sprout new parts of the plant. For example, here the lateral buds on an apple tree can form new branches leading to the expansion of the tree. The stem acts as a support structure for these buds, ensuring they remain attached until they begin to grow. Attachment of fruits. Example is the tomato plant again. The pedicel, which is a small stem-like structure, attaches the fruit to the plant. So, in a tomato plant, the tomato here develops from a flower and is attached to the main stem via the pedicel, which is the stem supports the growing fruit, providing it with nutrients and water through the vascular system. And also, the strength and flexibility of the stem allows the fruit to remain attached as it grows and ripens. The stem serves as the central support structure for a plant, providing a place for the attachment of vital plant parts like leaves, flowers, buds, and fruits. The stem also ensures that these parts are positioned correctly to perform their functions such as photosynthesis, reproduction, and nutrient storage. By connecting these parts to the vascular system, the stem also facilitates the movement of water, nutrients, and sugar, supporting the overall health and growth of the plant. The stem serves as the central support structure for a plant, providing a place for the attachment of vital plant parts like leaves, flowers, buds, and fruits. The stem also ensures that these parts are positioned correctly to perform their functions such as photosynthesis, reproduction, and nutrient storage. By connecting these parts to the vascular system, the stem also facilitates the movement of water, nutrients, and sugar, supporting the overall health and growth of the plant. The last important role that we have is the access to sunlight. The stem allows the plant to access sunlight for photosynthesis. In some plants, the stem itself can even contribute to sunlight exposure through specialized adaptations. Here's how the stem facilitates access to sunlight along with the examples. Supporting leaves for optimal sunlight exposure. So in a typical plant like the sunflower, the stem supports the leaves and positions them in a way that maximizes exposure to sunlight. The petiole or the left stem connects the leaf to the mainstream and often allows the leaf to orient itself at an angle that maximizes light capture. So the stem itself grows tall and straight, helping the plant's leaves stay above the surrounding vegetation to avoid shedding. The longer the stem, the better the leaves can spread out and get sunlight, which is crucial for photosynthesis. Stem elongation or phototropism. Many plants, especially vines or plants with weak stems, exhibit a phenomenon called phototropism, where the stem grows in response to light. In phototropic plants, the stem elongates towards the direction of the light source, and this allows the plant to grow taller or in a direction where light's availability is maximized. The stem's ability to respond to light helps the plant gain better access to sunlight over time, especially in crowded or shaded environments. So here, the example that we have is bean. So when a bean plant is grown in a shaded area, its stem will elongate towards the sunlight, allowing the leaves to get better exposure to light and thereby improve photosynthesis. Next is support for flowers and fruit to access sunlight. In tomato plant, the stem is not only supports the leaves but also supports the flower and fruits of the plant. So in tomato plants, the stem elevates the flowers above the leaves so that they are visible to pollinators. As the fruits develop, the stem ensures that they remain exposed to sunlight, which is important for processes like ripening. So even though the leaves are the primary site for photosynthesis, access to sunlight for flowers and fruits is necessary for optimal pollination and fruit development. Stems as photosynthetic structures, like for example the cacti. In certain plants, particularly succulents and cacti, the stem itself is modified to photosynthesize, especially in environment where leaves are reduced or absent to conserve water. In cacti, the stem is thick, fleshy, and green, containing chlorophyll, which allows the stem to capture sunlight and perform photosynthesis. The stem has evolved to store water and carry out photosynthesis, making it the primary organ for energy production in the plant, particularly in the desert where water is scarce and leaves are minimized or absent. To top it off, the stem of a plant is a crucial organ that plays multiple interconnected roles vital for the plant's survival, growth, and reproduction. Thus, the stem is not only a physical support structure, but also a vital channel for the plant's physiological processes. And its ability to adapt and perform diverse functions highlights its importance in the overall life cycle of the plant. And that ends my report. Thank you for listening. If you guys have questions or confusion, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you. We can now proceed to the next reporter. Have a great day. Bye.